Welcome to Caffeine and Creative, where Pat and Mo, Greer Films, brew up raw conversations about life behind the camera, storytelling and navigating the ups and downs of running a creative business. With a blend of caffeine, fueled banter, behind the scenes, insights and plenty of laughs, we're here to connect, inspire and keep it real. Whether you're a business owner, creative soul or just here for the stories. Grab your coffee and join us for unfiltered fun. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're actually recording in the morning for a change.
We are. It's correct. It's real.
We were slack. We skipped, well, not that we skipped it intentionally. We missed our September recording, so everyone gets to hear us back to back this month. Yeah.
It really is. It is so only September. I feel like it's been way longer.
No, because we would have recorded in August and then we missed September and we don't record to the end of the month, which we're coming up to the end of the month of October.
Yeah.
So that's why it feels like this massive stretch since we sat down and talked last.
And school holidays and life. So, yes.
And all the juggling that we do. And which I think we mentioned that in the last recording that we were coming up to school holidays and how hectic that was going to be.
Yep.
And yeah, we've turned up in our fashionably late, but we still turned up. We're still here doing it as we should be.
Yeah, so hopefully everyone's still been enjoying listening, but either way, I'm still going to talk into a microphone, so it's fine. And
it's exactly how I feel. I was super slack. I haven't done anything for MSG coaching, but whatever. I'll pick that back up when I feel ready.
That has led into other things now already when you think about it.
This is true.
So if you want to share that news, you can.
Which
segue
one?
In.
Which segue? Which one?
You being involved in a certain organisation.
Oh, my talk this weekend.
Oh.
I was like, which other one are you talking about?
Sorry. When I hear coaching, my mind went elsewhere.
You went with hockey?
Yes.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've been named as an assistant coach for Western Region Academy of Sport, which that kicks off this weekend, orientations on Saturday. So I get my uniform and then we have training camp on Sunday. So very hectic.
Yes.
Literally just telling someone about how hectic our weekends are and they're like, full on.
Yeah,
it's like,
just add that into.
Just fit that.
Take a slice and
move that over there and fit that in. Luckily, playing season of winter has obviously paused, so it's a little bit easier to fit in. But before we start talking about all that stuff, you had a very hectic September yourself.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about the Pippa shoot that you did. So you did some scouting, which we saw some of that on socials.
Yes, we did.
And that was a bit of fun. And even the dance school said how much fun it was going to be at the locations that you went to.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the shoot.
So thanks to my new good friend, Mark, he has an amazing property outside of O'Connell there. And when we did a shoot with him for the Central Table Lands Local Land Services.
Well done.
Hope I got that right.
You did. You did.
Who are actually just around the corner from where we are here. We used his property for a good portion of that photo shoot, and because it ticked a lot of boxes. And at the time, I thought, it'd be great to keep this relationship going and utilize the property a little bit more for other things. And he's a top bloke. We've become pretty good friends, which is really nice. And the opportunity came up with Pure Imagination Performing Arts, and that came to us again this year as we collaborate every year for her end of year concert, where the concert comes around. You go to the concert and the dancers go in between sections or whatever, and then usually towards the end is a video. I think she's going to do the same thing this year, or it might play at the start, I'm not sure, but generally the video plays at the end and then they come out and they do their final number. So it's a really cool unique way to break up her concert, and everyone's always very excited and they always say how it's stepped up every year and that sort of thing. So this year it's a country western sort of theme. That's what I was looking for. So I thought, Mark's property probably would be perfect. There's, good open spaces, and he's got farm looking stuff because we wanted the barn sort of look as well, like sort of rundown barn sort of stuff, which he's got. So yeah, we went and did the scout first, which I thought was really relevant to do. Don't always do that, but I think it's a very helpful it's very helpful. What's the word I'm looking for here? Can't speak.
It's been no, that's all right. I think
process.
We've done it a few times this year actually, where you guys have booked it in and gone out and done some scouting. And I agree. I think it really helps with the process because not only is it just you involved, but you're involving other people.
Yes.
So once we are involving more people in a production, by having that pre-done scouting, we are then much clearer in our communication or whatever, our delivery to whoever's involved.
Because you've got to move people around and you've got to be prepared. It was interesting though, however, on the day, sorry, I'm going to hit my head of myself. So it's a country western theme. So we did the scout. We found good real spots for different sequences of the video. There's even a cool sequence based on an old western classic movie. I won't spoil what it is. So that's really, really fun. That took up a fair bit of time in our shoot that we thought, because we were dealing with little kids, the younger kids, I should say, at the shoot. And we thought we had plenty of time, but it came fast forward and it was like 4 o'clock suddenly, and it was like, oh, parents are turning up already and we're not even nearly done. So that was a fun challenge. But those sort of things happen when I guess you're dealing with, we had easily 30 something students there with us dancing. So and we had to try and make sure that everyone sort of got their own little time in the spotlight as well. But yeah, it was awesome, really fun. Can't wait to have everyone see it, starting to produce it now, obviously. And as a side note from a technical filmmaking perspective, is that it's the first time in a long time that I've shot something in RAW on the camera, so in S-Log. So in S-Log 3 on the Sony cameras. And I'm hoping that the end result will give me that aesthetic, stylistic look
that you're looking
in camera of color grade in the final result that looks like a Western sort of thing. It has that cool sort of finish, Clint Eastwood look, I suppose.
I know I can visually see what you mean. I just can't word it.
So, and that was in preparation for a shoot that I also had coming up that weekend too. So, which needed to be in that profile. So it was kind of like, well, better jump in and dust off that skill set of using that type of profile on the camera, because it's not as point and shoot as some of the just the standard profile, I suppose, where you just really need to focus on really just making sure you're not blowing out highlights or underexposing or things like that. So there's a bit of a fine way to get it right. So
Well, so you actually just touched on the fact of why you needed, well, you didn't need to, the reason for you to flex those muscles at the Pippa shoot, which was a perfect opportunity before you had the weekend job. Now, the weekend job came up very last minute.
Yes.
I got a phone call while I was in Hobart coaching hockey going, I've been offered this job, pitched it all, and I was like, yeah, it sounds great. It's in Coffs. It's like, okay. You're there.
Yep.
You work it out. Not in a bad way, don't get me wrong. We talked about how we could juggle the kids and how we could get you up there and take this opportunity with two hands. I think we managed that not too bad, considering, as I said, I was in Hobart, so I was very short on time. Disconnected and trying to have my foot then in two camps at one time, which was a little bit stressful, trying to manage here, plus having to turn up as a coach. Like, I think when you rang me, I was like, I actually am about to sit down and watch footage from a game because I need to be prepared for a team meeting in 30 minutes. So I think we juggled that quite well. Thank goodness our kids are a little bit older, and a massive shout out and thanks to our family and chosen family to help us enable you to get to Coffs.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the Coffs. Tell us about, because I know how it came up. But what excited you about the job for you to go, I want to make this work? Because now you know how I feel with hockey, because I go, how am I going to make it work? So what was it that made you excited enough for the Coffs job to make it work?
Well, I think first of all was the concept of getting on a plane to go work, I suppose, to go shoot. Like we've traveled many hours for shoots. Obviously, you know, we've gone all the way to Melbourne. What we drove there, I suppose. It just felt a little bit different and a bit more special that I was on my own, going out, almost freelancer style, which it kind of was that type of job. To go to a big event, a big nationwide event, more or less it was, to help someone else out. So
I was like, how much information can we disclose?
Well, we can disclose whatever we want, really. It's fine.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
So tell us then about what event it was.
Yeah, so it's come and gone, and the footage is being worked on as we speak, as the other creative who hired me to help him out, because he works for this company called SDR. So is it Sport Trend Wear? I think it is SDR. It's So a bunch of different clubs were obviously sponsored by this brand, and they were wearing it on their uniforms and stuff. Yep. So it's a uniform-based brand, sportswear. And so the shoot was for them, but it was at the National Touch Footy Australia National Championships, and it's the youth championship. So it was all, I think it ranged from, there were some younger kids there through to obviously like teenagers, like up to 18-year-olds. Mm-hmm. And it was like 20 or so fields at the International Stadium in Coffs Harbour. So yeah, got on a plane and got picked up from the airport and straight into it, more or less, by like 10:30 that day. Massive day, the first day, and so conducting interviews with certain players and shooting footage of them playing in their game and warm-ups and things like that. So all of it was portrait-based, so real footage. So the end result were reels, and they also wanted some photos in there as well. So thanks to a very thorough and detailed brief that was provided to me, thanks to the other individuals involved, it was made pretty easy, but sometimes that's unrealistic in ways, because you also technically you're at an event, and these kids, or these athletes, I should say, you know, are there to perform. They're there to play. Yep. So I was very mindful that, you know, it's a bit of a juggle as well. So we'll do our best, sort of thing. And some things got taken out because then it just wasn't even happening at all. So, but you know, the person I had there, who was the account executive for SDR, who I worked alongside, and then there was another lady who also helped me as well. I can't remember what her role was, but she also worked for SDR. And yeah, they were great to work with, really helpful, and it was bloody hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you were sweating and I was in thermals.
Yeah.
How
polar opposites. Yeah.
It was so cold.
But a bit of a challenge. Like, it can be a challenge, you know, making sure you're getting enough footage of certain players in their games when maybe some of them had one game, some of them had two games, and sort of juggling where you are and priorities and things like that. But I think we achieved it pretty well in the end. And yeah, from what I understand, everyone's happy. So,
I was going to say, so far we've had positive feedback, so that's been awesome. And you know, that is definitely, like, I know that personally when I was in Hobart and we were talking about this and I got off the phone, I was like, I just hope that the universe was going to help us align all this, because for me, my vision of you within Greer Films was exactly that, was flying in and flying out and traveling and going to productions either as Greer Films or as a freelancer or whatever that looked like. And we've finally reached that goal or that vision, because one, our kids are older. Two, we have these amazing people around us who are supporting us, as I said, family and chosen family. So I'm excited now for that next jump or that next leap and evolution of our business that enables you to do this even more. So, and hence you've joined a masterclass and your networking is growing, and that is, I'm going to say it, I'm so proud of you. That's exactly what I wanted for us.
Thankful for that network having even come across my feed, I suppose, in the first place. I'm not sure how it even happened. I think it was on social media, and
pretty sure it was.
And then yes, it's been a great community to be a part of, and that's how I got that job, was as another person in that community, and turned out he was excuse me, he was on holidays and had booked someone else to cover him, and they had to bail based on a family emergency. So he was worried that he was gonna let his client down, and I just put my hand up in the WhatsApp chat and said, "Hey, I'm over here. I'm in Bathurst, so I can maybe help you."
Yep.
And yeah, he was really good to work with. So. And yeah, you saw he sent me examples the other day, just so he felt like it was good to show me what he had produced so far based on what I shot. So, which is it's always interesting to see what people do with the footage you shoot, especially when they're not within our company. So
yeah, exactly. What their
how they
have interpreted, or their creative eye has seen it. So something that we've also seen is an evolution of a company out here in Bathurst, well, Oberon, but how we've seen that Reels are now taking that next step in production placement. So we're not only filming, or editing. Did you film?
Yeah, I filmed some of it as well.
And editing like the landscape of training videos, or I believe that was the production, like their training videos.
Not these ones, no.
So what are these ones?
They are, I guess, promotional pieces of material to advocate for applying to be applying to be apprentice.
Still
that's what they are. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, but it still has this particular company. I think it's new for them. I don't know if they've done this kind of content before.
Yes. So Highland Pines in Oberon is now formerly known as AKD. And AKD has mills all over the country, more or less, or mostly all on the eastern side of the country. And yeah, so I think they've been doing it for some time already, these sort of videos, but obviously now that Oberon's a part of that, that's new for them. But yeah, they were very happy with how we've approached it and put it together. And hopefully that lean. I think there's someone that they use in other locations. So sort of like between us, we'll sort of help them get better quality content, because shooting, there is a place sometimes for shooting things on phones, absolutely, but for this kind of material where you're pushing it out as a main piece of promotional content to really showcase your business, more or less, and showcase these people and where they are now, and having them advocate to be in that, for you to be in that same position. Grainy, horrible sounding content doesn't, to me especially, is just cringeworthy. But we made it work, and it is sometimes you got to make things work. So yeah, ideally
more professional.
You don't do that, and it's all clean and it's all professional looking. The framing is all correct, because it actually got to a stage where it was some of these guys obviously filmed themselves when they had maybe a lunch break or something like that, or had someone else film it, or they had smoko or something. I would say some of them, and then they did their piece to camera, for example, and had to answer at least 7 or 8 questions, and some of them are standing way further back. Some of them are standing way too close. So, you've got framings from like the top of their head right on the edge of the frame to then, further away. And yes,
just
and then the inconsistency of the quality of the audio. And so it's just a challenge.
But that actually really reminds me of the reel that you sent me yesterday, and we were talking about how I don't know who the creative was or what the account is. However, he was really talking about how, and this is something that being hopefully the hockey season over, I'd really like to invest my time into this, is going, right, well, we're going to have a campaign, a video campaign or promotional campaign based on X, and we're going to have it professionally looking based on this platform.
Yes.
So going, okay, well, Instagram is that platform.
Is the polished look.
Everyone likes polished, finished content on Instagram more than, I believe, any other platform. I think YouTube is very close in behind, obviously, with content like this.
Yeah.
So I think those are your two very polished content platforms. Facebook, I think, is that mix between polished but still kind of real life.
Yep.
So people don't mind as long as it's digestible on Facebook. And then you obviously get to TikTok, which is all about this sort of content.
Yes.
So I think it's then about really, and like we've done this on and off for years, and we talk about this with clients, is going, right, who is the audience? Who's digesting it? And that's who we should be making the content for. We had a conversation with a social media client the other day, and they said, oh, this is how I feel about the content. And I said, respectfully, your content is not about you. It is about your audience. And I said that politely and respectfully, but quite harsh.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day...
She heard you, though.
100%. Because... it's not us doing this is good fun, and we love getting on a microphone, and just this part of it and making it is about us. But when it comes to the watching and the digestibility of it all, it isn't about us. It's about the person who's watching it or listening to it, and that's who everyone has to remember. It isn't about you. It is about your audience. And if you can connect with them the way that you want to, your business will thrive.
Yep.
If you keep going, well, no, I want it to be like this, it's like, well, are you really always the client?
Yeah.
Or the audience intended? Because sometimes we're not.
Yeah, so going back to the story you were saying about the reel I sent you. So the guy, he basically speaks about the polished look on Instagram, but having this as a purpose-built visualization, I suppose, of this particular brand. So the brand is, I think it was apparel. It was an apparel brand,
which I must admit, working in apparel, because I have that fashion background. Yeah. Oh my God, working in apparel would be so much easier than other industries. Yeah. Like retail, I totally got it when they showed the visual of the campaign of the products and stuff, because when I did my placement at InStyle, that's exactly what it looks like. You walked in and there were pictures and photos and essentially campaign pieces put together, which we use word campaign, but in the fashion industry, they'd call that the finished look or total look. So for me, retail or clothing, this applies to so much easier than any other industry. But if you can build the campaign, which is what he was talking about, is having that, what was it? It was very American retro styled apparel, it was finished, and it was all about evoking that emotion through Instagram, through polished look. But then on TikTok, they were at the same location with model number 2, and it was just raw stuff. And it was making it then more applied to the younger generation looking at it going, I kind of like that look. Yeah. Or the fun and playfulness of TikTok versus that polished look. Yeah. Sorry, I cut you 100%. Off.
No, well, that's exactly what I was going to say, really. It was interesting that he talks about the stylization of it being American and Mustangs, and I don't know the desert in America and stuff like that, for example, was one of the sort of references that they show. And then on one hand, double dipping in a shoot where the cinematic is happening over here, and then someone over here for the other model is just filming it very haphazardly on a phone, but then also stepping away from that even as well, where Camp 2 over here is filming their TikTok stuff, and that's all they're doing, and they just the settings don't matter as much, and the lighting doesn't matter, and all that sort of stuff. It's just about making sure they're wearing the clothes and they look good and just have some fun and and or just, basic, just touch your clothes sort of thing. And that's the end of it. There's not a lot of real storyboarding, I suppose. Whereas over on the Camp One, where it's designed to go on Instagram and it has that other professional aesthetic, that's very storyboarded out, and same with the photo shoots and stuff like that too. So,
and it was that high quality of production. Like for me, it's then the difference between production levels, and that's where we as Greer Films, we love Camp One because we're all about polished and not always about even our own content, but you enjoy the creativity behind getting that very polished look versus just rocking up with a phone and being like, pose there, yep, photo, like, yep, cool, we got it. It's about the investment of time and effort to then see the return on that investment is what we thrive for. But I did really like his approach to the platforms, and that's something that I'll be
something to consider for sure,
more for everyone.
I think it's smart. I think it's very smart.
Sorry.
So rewinding back to the chaotic week of the Pippa shoot and then off to Coffs Harbour.
Didn't you then also have the Bathurst one-shot event?
And then came back in time on the Friday night after getting back at about, what time was that?
Like 7 o'clock. Your flight landed around 6 or 7?
Yeah, something like that. So,
and then 3-hour drive?
Yeah. So I probably got home around 10 or 11 o'clock, I think, and got up the next day as I committed myself to being part of a cool sort of little local event here that some collectors had put on, which was around tabletop games and trading cards and other things like that, called Bathurst One Shot. And it was an awesome event. I was glad I was a part of it, and sort of tried to connect with some people there as well. Took the kids and they had a blast. We all played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time ever in our lives, and pretty hilarious sort of small world, because then the following week, Kendall in our crew was like, "Oh, did you you play Dungeons and Dragons with Alex? Alex is my friend." I'm like, "Oh, that's hilarious." So, but it was really cool. And I didn't have anything to sell. I just sort of put my hand up and said, "Hey, I'm happy to be a part of it. I got some amazing things to put on to display if that's something that's relevant." And John, who was organising it, was like, "Absolutely." And it was then a matter of, what do I take and how carefully can I transport things? It was cool.
And it was, when you say that you were at the event, we weren't covering it. You were there as a participant, which I think was a great way to wrap up a hectic week. As you said, there was some great moments and memories with the kids with Dungeons and Dragons. I was not there. I was still at Hobart. Yeah. But to see the photos, like, again, phone photos, but to see the moments that you guys were having was pretty cool. And
well, I did pull out the camera because I thought I'd bring that along as well and
get a couple of snaps.
Obviously had a window opportunity and took some photos, and just said to John, "Oh, well, props to having a professional photographer here as part of it. I'll just take some quality photos for you." And just gave him the photos, and
would love that.
And there's already been talks to try and do another event in the next in 2026. So
wow, cool.
Bigger and better and stuff. Yeah, so it should be cool.
And hopefully they can, if we're supporting people, they can get some, bigger exposure. So
maybe less statues next time. If I have another display,
why?
I won't take statues just because of what happened to the Batman statue, and technically a part of the Snake Eye statue got broken as well. So the timber, one of the timber logs that also magnetizes into the back of it, Lucas was walking through the tables and clipped that, and it flew off and smashed on the ground. I love how her face is just like, "Are you serious right now?"
I can't believe you took that one.
The Snake Eye statue. Yeah, that was always the goal.
Wow.
To take that. It's a holy grail piece.
Exactly. Yeah. So hence why I'd be like,
so I was really like, "Oh my God, I will murder you, child." But in the grand scheme of things, I looked at it and I was like, it's like a tiny little chip off something that's at the back of the statue. So it's okay. I did try to fix a part of it. But I was like, which way does this piece go? And I couldn't figure it out in the end. So I was just like, it doesn't overly matter. But the Batman finger was what I was freaking out the most. So it was probably like an hour or so into the event. I was then just admiring my display and then looked at the Spawn and Batman statue that I have, and it's about this big, this statue, and it's based on the comic book cover from Todd McFarlane and from the Image comic, where it was a crossover and they're like leaping off a building pretty much. And so Batman's at the top and he's got his hands out like this. And I look at it and then here's this like the one main long finger chipped off. And I'm like, are you serious? When did that happen? Oh my God. Like I just feel like sweat dripping down my head instantly going, oh my God. And just so much anxiety right now about the fact that that's happened, and couldn't find this finger. Like you're talking like something that's like tiny.
Less than
and so I was like, oh, maybe when we start packing up, it'll uncover or something like that. And I think you said or something when I messaged you about it, you're like, check through things, or that might have been Ali was like, check through the towels or something, because we obviously transported everything in washing baskets with towels and things. I thought that was safe enough. And couldn't find it, and I mentioned it to the lady that was next to me, and she was like, do you know what Reiki is? I'm like, yes, maybe. Do you want to explain what that is?
Not really, because I'll butcher it.
So
it's an energy feeling. Like I probably more know it from a healing perspective, where it's about senses of our body being imbalanced and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But essentially, what you're going to say for me is more like not a medium, but she's very in tuned with energy and things around her. So now if you can continue.
Yes. So she said that to me and I was like, yeah, kind of, I think so. And she's like, well, I touched it and I touched like your hand and then I sort of just looked in the space and then looked, and then there it was. And it was literally just like on the floor over there, sort of near the table sort of thing. And saved. And then I super glued it back on and all's good.
Super good. So then super gluing this kid. Well, and obviously everything went back home fine. So, but we're talking then about, this is a great segue to talk about networks and people that we know. So you had another great event in September, which you touched on. We went down to Melbourne and did a conference in May. It was right after I did the Trans-Tasman.
Right.
It was that weekend. We then went to Melbourne and did the Women in Business conference in Melbourne.
Yep.
And Emily and Chris were beautiful to invite us to speak at September. I turned them down purely because it was hockey grand final weekend. And I knew that I was going to be pretty energy strapped to then also go and do this other conference.
Yes.
Which I'm kind of glad I still said no, because I ended up not being 100% just before going to Hobart. So, and that's been an ongoing juggle now for about 4 weeks.
Yes.
Because I was on steroids last week. So, and playing sport because I won't stop. But tell us a little bit about the conference. Was there a speaker that, like, obviously we know a couple of the speakers, which I was so excited that Elle was there. That she reached out to Em and Chris and wanted to speak at their conference. But was there anyone else that stood out to you? Obviously you were there getting video.
Yep.
And there was someone else getting headshots, which that was your profile picture for a couple of weeks.
Yes, it was.
So tell us a little bit about that one.
So again, a really cool scenario where I got to travel away. Obviously, it was only to Terrigal, but it was
still
Terrigal. Stayed in a hotel and that sort of thing, and managed my big Pelican case of all my gear, which probably took too much in the end. But there was the benefits of being able to just set up in a hotel, I suppose. Awesome place. Keen to go back there again. Beautiful where the water's just there. Obviously took advantage of the space where we were to just shoot some nice stuff for ourselves even as well, which if you follow us on socials, you might have seen the beautiful beach photos that I took at 5:30 a.m. in the morning or something, or whatever it was. And so it was a Women in Business collective conference showcasing different women in business. But I wasn't the only male there. There was another guy there that was speaking from an account's perspective. So he was an accountant and talked about cash flow and things like that. And I was like, oh yeah, cool. I don't. Can't really comment on speakers because when I'm filming and taking photos of those sort of things, I'm just visualizing and waiting for smiles and things like that. Not really listening. Not enough to take anything really in. But it was kind of cool to hear Kim talk, where she spoke about AI and all these different. I guess women in the AI industry and the things that they've created. It's pretty wow, it's pretty cool that those sort of things existed and these women sort of made it happen, sort of stuff. So
can you give an example?
No, I can't. Not at all. No.
I was just like,
I can visualize it. I can visualize the faces that she was showing at a slideshow, but I can't remember any further. But was very interesting. So I would say that was probably one of the better ones.
So then what about a positive or something that because you obviously I have skipped over the fact that you spoke.
I did.
And was messaging me while you were speaking, and we were talking about how proud we both were of you and that you were really bright and confident in that space. So tell us a little bit about your talk.
Yeah, so I got to host a masterclass, more or less about what did we give the title for it? I'm testing my memory now. I literally looked at this piece of paper yesterday, I think it was. Do you remember what it was?
What the name of it was, but it was about obviously people creating content and stepping into their confidence of what that looks like.
Yeah.
So not everyone can afford a professional videographer or photographer.
Making it work and the tips and guides.
Making it work with what you've got.
Yep. So thanks to you who put together an awesome slideshow for me, which it looks amazing. So that was very helpful. And I think I had maybe an hour or so to run this masterclass.
Yep.
It ended up being a very small number of participants, but probably made it easier on myself, to be honest, because I was very anxious about the time because I hadn't even done a practice run or anything like that, which is, that's so me, just sort of wing it sort of thing, I suppose. And I guess in those scenarios, especially when you've done something for the first time, you're trying to think, am I talking too fast? Am I coming across as not confident? Am I coming across that I don't know what I'm talking about? But I mean, obviously, of course, I know what I'm talking about, but in a space of presenting that was a bit different, I suppose. But I think, probably 10 minutes into it, I sort of started to settle and flow and feel good about it. And and the people in the room were very invested and very intrigued, and as much as some of it sort of maybe didn't fully apply to one individual specifically, because she's not the one who was going to get in front of a camera, for example, but she's the kind of person that will coach someone to do it. Yeah, so she took away things really, really good to help her armory of being able to encourage others, I suppose, too. That's really cool. So it was interesting and keen to do more of them for sure, I think. So
well, we talked about at the start of the year, talking about running our own masterclasses or running our own little mini workshops and things. And I think now we've had enough taste in 2025 individually to go, we really should be doing this. So that's something that we will be investing our time into for 2026, is trying to not every week, it's not going to be something crazy, but just how we can bring extra knowledge and confidence to the people around us. And I look forward to seeing you step into that.
I think it's a bit of a fine line of understanding who the audience is and what people would digest, I suppose, and what people would see value in. So I think that particular masterclass was pretty broad in a sense, with taking that sort of first little step into trying to level yourself up and trying to apply certain things. So a hybrid of that would expand a bit more maybe is something that would work quite well. Well,
and I know that there will be an opportunity for Greer Films to collaborate with the Women in Business Collective next year. So that information will be coming out as soon as we get the go ahead to promote, we will also be promoting that, and it will be an opportunity for us to work a little bit one-on-one with people. So if people are interested, it will be that whole get in contact with us and we'll secure a spot for you. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been exciting.
Yeah. So
that actually ticks everything off.
That's probably all of our notes that we have.
September.
Yeah.
Because we've got to record again.
I feel like I spoke a lot.
That's okay. It was a bit more of an interview style today.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind that.
I think you might enjoy that.
Yeah. It works.
Well, it's challenging for me to have much input when I've been
playing hockey or coaching hockey.
Coaching or playing or doing what I do with hockey. But then, I come back and I very much am trying to be very crew and client focused. I've had a few projects that I've had to kick off and get done myself, and then also helping the crew manage their way through things. So that's just the way it is. You and I have talked about the evolution of my role, and we'll be having a coffee to discuss that a bit more, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So it's just where we are.
Cool.
Awesome.
No worries. And shall we save where we're currently up to in terms of some other things?
Yes.
For our next episode?
Yes.
We'll inform you then.
Yes. Yeah. Stay tuned. There is more coming. Absolutely. Oh, I said it.
Absolutely.
Oh. There's one.
I think it was, it was a fair
it's a valid
segue
one. It's allowed.
Putting it in. Yeah.
I'm allowed to put that one in. Awesome. All right. Anything else?
No, I'm happy.
Cool. Did anyone notice our little people down on the thing? You'll have to comment if you notice who they are. See if you noticed.
Totally.
And I must admit, these were very comfortable.
Your pillows?
My new pillows that I got from the Chocolate Boutique on George Street. So one that you can't really see is an Alice in Wonderland themed one, which is
show it off to the camera
really
if you
sweet.
want to.
Oh, I'm going to have to move. Alice in Wonderland themed. You probably can't see the picture, but the finishes on this is amazing. And then this, it's just very
solid,
comfortable. Yeah, it's really good. So if you're looking for themed pillowcases that last, I would recommend that people go check them out.
Totally.
And get some amazing chocolate.
Yep. Chocolate place that sells pillows.
Well, it's a collaboration between them and Quixo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they've got like two offices kind of thing.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hence they have like furnishing displays and stuff. But they've got some quite little cute props and stuff that I've had to hold back on getting, like a pear and like a gold pear and stuff.
Yeah, right.
I was like, that look really cool. It's like, no, stop.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Not yet.
Yeah.
Still want to finish this room yet. We talked about that at the start of the year. Still haven't done it.
No, it's all right. I think it still looks cool.
Oh, doesn't, It's more the sound.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Caffeine and Creative, and look forward to seeing you all again in our next episode.
Yes, we'll be recording very soon. Stay tuned.
See ya.
Bye.